Hey, good morning. The sun is out. It's a nice day. I'm just here to share with you what we use in 21.5 blinky class, the car and equipment that Porsche drives, and hopefully the tips will help you. Okay, so well, first I think so. Last night we were pretty happy. I believe we did one of the fastest laps ever in a 21.5 blinky car using our local rules. It was an 11.8. I think or believe that the absolute fastest lap on our track, open, no motor limit, no nothing, is 11.5. If that's true, then a blinky car this car is only zero point 0.3 seconds slower than the open class. Our track is around, I guess, 80 by 40 feet. It's a guess, so it's a medium size outdoor asphalt track. All right, let's get to it. So, what's the secret, if there's any? Okay, number one, I think, is our car or Porsche's car is set up to be a more uh, flowing type of driving skill. So it's set up to try to flow through the corners, keep the momentum because it's a very weak motor. It's blinky, 21.5. So that's number one. I think to get the speed, we just need to have a flow, meaning the car doesn't stop in the corner. There's minimal braking and acceleration. It's just like one complete movement around the track. So how do we get that? Well, number one, first you really need good traction. You need traction, but a flowing type of traction that doesn't stick your car in the corner, meaning your car just has traction but flows through the corner. It doesn't stick and stop and lose momentum. That's number one. And so I put a lot of credit to this new brew that I did. I think this is already half a second faster than what I usually have been using for the past 10, 10 years. So I think this helped a lot. Now, of course, second would be the tire. So we were using this one. If you notice, this is the AOC handout tire and this is from 2018. It is a sweep. It's a sweep EXP, and it really loves this. So when this could not work before on our track. It was just not getting any grip with the other traction compounds I was using. But with this one, suddenly this came alive, and for 5 minutes it can do, I think, 12.3 as a fastest, um, or even a 12, I believe. So it was fast, and it's due to this compound, honestly. Then for the 11.8, I believe last night we used this one. It's a Rush. I don't know what the compound is. It might be a Rush 36 or a Rush 40. I cannot read it well, but it's kind of hard, so I have a belief it's a Rush 40. And still using this. Um, and the thing is with this one, I just put it on one time. The times will last for 5 minutes. It doesn't wear off. So the fast lap of 11.8, um, you know, that holds until 5 minutes if you can drive it well. So so tires is important. You really need, but again, my tires are from 2018, so you don't really, to think you need new tires to go fast is y- y- yeah, maybe that's true, but for us, I just use old tires because I'm cheap. And then what I do is I just really develop the setup around the old tires and just try to make it as fast as I can with the setup. So going to the setup, uh, It's basically an X-Ray 2018, so it's still a relatively new car, but many might consider this old to do a possible track record on our track. So what's new here? It's basically playing with the flex. So I put a screw here, going to the servo, so it tightens up, less flex. If you look underneath, almost all screws in, less flex. Um, so really trying to get away with as little flex as possible to retain a lot of corner speed. No, more flex means the car is more sticky, but corner speed. I use Smg Springs, front and rear, progressive. I cannot recall, but this is like the medium and this is the hard. The diff is relatively soft, probably 5K, anything from 3 to 5K. Battery is a little old, 2018 or 2017 Silverback. R12. This service pretty good value. It's a Power HD R12. Pretty cheap, like $40. This is just a Hobby Wing 120, I believe 120 amp quick run. This is a Surpass V5R. I use a Sanwa MT4 from 10 years ago. Still using it. I love that. My daughter loves it because it's one of the lightest controllers you can have, and it's pretty small, so it fits her small hands well. Body is a Tamiya Ebro. Came with a TA05 kits, so it's not really lightweight. This is around 100 grams, so it's a heavy body. But I just like the looks. I don't, just to be different on the track. And what else? Oh, roll centers. If you're thinking it's a high roll center car, as high as I can get away with, meaning it's almost going to slide, tendency to loose grip slide. But I think that's one of the way to get fastest speed. If your roll center is too low, the car is too stock. It might have lots of traction in the corner, but I don't think the lap time is the same. So those are the things. I play a lot with these camber links as well. The spacer, play a lot with this to get the handling you want. And yeah, so just to recap, you really need to start off with good tires, or even old tires, as long as it still has good grip. So this one is like, feels like brand new. It's from 2018, and I attribute it mostly to my homebrew conditioner slash traction compound. It's very safe. Again, I tell you, like, I put it on my face, so people are surprised that I actually can touch it and put it on my face. Yeah, so that's how safe it is. I can probably drink it, but I will no, don't drink it. But I don't think I will die if I drink it, because I researched materials and I saw quite a bit of the ingredients I used are really all relatively safe. There's nothing toxic in anything I put in here. And so that's the number one important thing. You need the tires with the correct compound, traction compound. That's the biggest impact. Then you put a setup around your tires. Same with the body, everything. Then you put weight balance, put weights here. You can put weights here, or I put a lot of weights here. So there's a metal plate here made of brass, very thin, so low CG. The weight is, additional weight is very low here in the middle, so that the polar moment is neutral. It rotates not too much. If I put too much weight here, even if I put too much, like 10 grams too much, the car will, you will notice on the track, the car will overspin. Too much rotation, the rear just steps out. So it's really a lot of trial and error. So put weights and move the weights around until you get the correct handling for your driving skill. And it's really sensitive. 10 grams can be felt. If you put 10 here, you can feel it. Put 10 here, you can feel it. So that's the level of, I guess, sensitivity and how you can get the speed out of a car. It's not that straightforward. It's a lot of experience, hard work tuning. So I've been focusing on tuning this car for maybe the past 2 months already. Really trying to get to, I guess, the track record. That I don't know what it is actually. What the I don't claim to have the track record. There are lots of fast drivers, so maybe someone did a faster than 11.8 in the blinky. I don't know, but you know, I think this is pretty fast already. 11.8. Uh, so just sharing my setup for the new to the hobby. You don't need the most expensive items. Make do with what you have and just get the biggest improvement is really so I have to say this, but it's cheap. So, you know, it's a cheap thing, these liquids. Well, mine is cheap. Then you have to have the tires. So for our track, it's sweep or rush. And yeah, I soak it in. I use it, just soak it in during the week. Let the rubber soak it all in. Then it feels like brand new, has good grip. And then the car, yeah. So I explained the setup. I think I would recommend developing a more smooth flowing driving style, but with some aggressiveness on exiting on the throttle. If you gonna get what I mean, you cannot be slow on the throttle on exit. You still need to be relatively aggressive, trying to exit the corners. But if you enter the corner with a flow, you actually your throttle fingers already almost at 100. You don't really have to jerk it or accelerate the exit hard. If your corner speed is fast, there's no need to accelerate the exit. That's the ideal thing we're trying to get with Porsche and myself. So that's one way, meaning your car just goes around the track at almost the same speed. So there's no acceleration, deceleration to upset the car, and so on. So that's the kind of setup I'm aiming for. Yeah, so if you have questions, just drop it in the comments. There's no secrets here, honestly. I really give a lot of credit to my daughter's determination to drive fast, go fast. My fastest was 13 flat. So she did 1.2 seconds faster than me. And it's really a lot of driving skill as well. But the driving skill, the driver and the car must agree. It depends on how the driver likes to, the technique the driver has, and you have to have a car that works with that technique. So it's not the same. So some people have tried this, but it doesn't work for them because it's a kind of flowing, and some like absolute grip, and so that doesn't work. But for those who have a flowing style or just want to, yeah, this is how we did it. Still working hard. We want to drop it down maybe to the absolute track record, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the next level for the open track record of, I think that requires a little more power to get there. Uh, but it's a challenge. That's what keeps it interesting for me. I want to really see how fast a blinky car can do relative to the open, meaning no motor limit, no nothing. It's just an open. So just to show that power is not always the case. You can start with a slow motor and just until you can squeeze every last bit of time from it. There's no real benefit to having a faster motor. You'll go faster in the straight. Your lap time might decrease quickly, but that's not due to driving. That's just due to faster motor. And for me, my Porsche, we're trying to also develop the driver. So I want the driver to be better, a better driver, not just become faster by putting more power. So yeah, we're trying to squeeze how much we can from this. Then we'll move on to more power once we feel we've squeezed it all. All right. Thank you and have a nice Sunday. All I can say is we're thankful that we still can play the hobby. There's a track we can play on, race, enjoy friendships, um, despite what's going on in this world. Lots of So we're just happy to be able to play, and RC hobby is still part of our lives. All right, and the keyword is it's a hobby. It's about friendships. Yeah, it's nothing about you know. That's all I can say about this. Please, let's keep it as friendships. It's about enjoying the hobby, getting to the track whenever we can, because it's limited amount of people. The schedules are, lots of people want to play but cannot play because of the track limit or number of racers. So let's just be friends, accommodate, and not think of other things. All right, that's my message to people who are confusing things in our hobby. All right, so let's just play and have fun, and you guys keep getting faster. Interested to hear how fast you guys are going as well. Thank you, thank you. Bye.